Hello everyone, my name is Stanley St. Rose, and today we're going to be talking about Aurora Leigh, written by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Now, before I go into summary analysis of this work, please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and or comment so that the channel can continue to grow. Alright, Aurora Leigh, very interesting work here by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Lots of things are happening. It's just a lot. Aurora Leigh, by the time she's 13, her parents are dead. All right. Her parents are dead. Her father, before he dies, he really instills in her this love for literature, this love for writing. And Aurora, she grows up to be a writer. She just loves it. That's all she's about. Um, she's sent to live with her aunt after her parents die. She's 13, and then by the time she gets to the age of 20, her cousin Romney wants to marry her, and the aunt pushes this for them to get married. Now, we have to keep in mind here that before World War One, first cousin marriages were practiced a lot. I mean, it was the usual. That just happened. It's not until people like birth defects. That's really what stopped first cousin marriages. Is it's birth defects because you keep having babies that are born with all types of problems. And a way to stop birth defects is stop keeping it in the family. I mean, date outside the family because the gene pool is just not good. That's why you don't date family members because you just have some very messed up babies. Um, so, with that being said, no cousin marriages. So yes, Aurora Leigh and Romney, they're cousins. The aunt pushes marriage on them. And at first, Aurora is like, no, I don't want Romney because Romney's all about supporting people in need. In fact, he even turns Lee Hall within the work into this pretty much shelter where people can come and get need when they need it. So Marion is another woman that comes forward for Romney to get married to. And then you get Lady Waldemar, who's another lady that's trying to marry Romney because Aurora doesn't want him. So she goes away to pursue her career in literature and writing. And then, Marion comes along and they ask Aurora, should, he marry Marion? And that goes forward, and then Marion leaves Romney at the altar because Lady Waldemar, she played with Marion's head and causes her to get raped because Lady Waldemar wanted Romney. She just wanted Romney to herself, and she just saw Marion as this thing that was in the way, so she gets involved in her life, making sure that Marion doesn't feel that Romney will ever love her for real. So she plays with herself, sends her away, and she ends up getting raped, assaulted and everything, and she gets pregnant. Marion gets pregnant, and so Lady Waldemar is portrayed as a villain here because she's all about what she wants. She's all about climbing the social ranks. Making sure that she's tied to wealth. Because this work here, you have Aurora who's trying to be an independent woman, making her own money, writing, becoming a new woman, while Lady Waldemar is more stuck to the past, making sure that she secures the bag through marriage and live a good luxurious life with a rich husband. So you do have this clash between the future and the past. I mean, nowadays in the 21st century, women can be lawyers, doctors, politicians, whatever you want to be. But still to this day, I mean, a lot of women, the way that they secure financial freedom and survive within on the planet is through marriage, marrying powerful men. securing the bag one way or another. So these two ideals, they still exist today. I mean, kingdoms still exist on Earth. Royalty still exists on Earth. Aristocracy still exists on Earth. And there's some women who mix both. They're independent, intelligent, making their own money, but they're also still marrying rich and powerful men for more power and prestige. So it's not that one is gone and one is present. It's just that the independent woman that gets her own money, that makes her own wealth, that's just become more mainstream than it used to be in the past. So you definitely see the clash between Aurora Leigh and Lady Waldemar here. They both see life a different way. So like we can take this to say that not all women are the same. People have different points of views on how to live life, and romance itself is not a one shoe fits all type of thing. I mean, there's different, I mean, love, romance, marriage, sex, it's all very complex, and it's all based upon feelings, logics, emotions, ideals, preferences. So we can't just like label it one way or the other, because sometimes it's one way or the other, or it's a mix of things, or it's none of these things. Again, romance, love, marriage, status, society, and family, it's complex, people. It's not a one size fits all type of thing. So within the work, we do see Marion. She has the kid, she has the son. And we know he was conceived through rape, but Marion does grow to love the kid despite the way that the kid was conceived. So the story goes on. Of course, Marion leaves. She doesn't marry Romney. She leaves him at the altar. And then Romney gets engaged to Lady Waldemar, and that doesn't work out because Lady Waldemar realizes that Romney loves Aurora Leigh, and they don't get married, and she doesn't like blame herself for what happened to Marion. She comes up, she defends herself definitely, but again, Lady Waldemar is a woman that's stuck in the past. She relies on status, power, and manipulation to get what she wants, and I guess the letter is kind of like a little bit of recognizing, acknowledging what happened, but it's not like she's like, "Oh, it's me, I did something wrong." It's more like, well, here's an explanation, and here's me defending myself for what happened and what occurred, and I'm not 100% to blame. It's just things happened. So it's not. It's more like that. So she's mostly regarded as a villain within this work, but it's more so how she was raised, the society that she lives in. Because again, for centuries, that's how women kept the bag. That's how women made money. That's the way that a lot of women stayed relevant in high society. You married rich, you did whatever you can to beat the girl in line so that you can marry the rich guy and obtain the fancy homes, the horses, the prestige, and that's how you survived. That's how you made a place for you in high society. So yes, she is evil in a sense, but at the same time, she is a product of her environment. I mean, her environment, her class, her finances, her position in society really formed her to be what she is. So the work goes along, and Aurora and Marion, they become close friends. They live together with Marion's son, and it's all great. And at the end of the work, Romney shows up. He tries to marry Marion, but Marion's like, "No, I'm just in love with my son because I want to take care of him. I want to love him." And Aurora Leigh and Romney, they end up together, and we can see that they have love for each other, and we can assume that they have a happily ever after towards the future, but they are cousins. In terms of deeper meaning and analysis, I mean, this is a very interesting work. There's a lot of ideas about women that are being displayed within Aurora Leigh. Again, you have sexual assault, you have the way in which women hurt each other. It's not like, there's always, when it comes to rape and sexual assault, it's always like men and dark and evil men overpowering a woman. But in this work, it's women affecting women um, you know being detrimental towards other women. It's Lady Waldemar who sets up Marion to be raped. And we see Lady Waldemar, doing whatever she can to hurt other women to, obtain what she deems to be success, power, and money. And we also see women helping women in terms of Aurora Leigh always being that helping hand to be there for Marion. So we see how women can affect women. It's not just, Romney is more like this guy that he wants to get married, and honestly, he could have ended up with any of these women, Lady Waldemar, Marion, or Aurora Leigh. So he's just like this dude that's there that has money, that has power, and well, he wants to be married. And Lady Waldemar is attractive, Aurora Leigh's attractive, and again, I mean, it's there's points where he could have been, with any of these women here, but well, he ends up with Aurora Leigh for one reason or another. We can say, yeah, I mean, it may be true love, but again, this work is not really focused upon true love. I mean, there's definitely love within it, but I think it more focuses on, society and the situations that society can sometimes put ourselves in, because it's situational. I think all these situations happened with Aurora's view in life, her views with literature, her views what she wants to do with her life. Lady Waldemar and her views in life and what she wanted to get out of life and money and power. Marion's rape. Um, Romney's philanthropy or trying to help out the lower man. So circumstances, situations, things that we want in life, ideals, things that you want to achieve, they often function in a way where they form your life. Okay. And all these characters had dreams, had things they wanted to do, had things they wanted to see, and that affects who you marry. That affects who you end up with. You often choose the people, or you often choose to be with the person that kind of like most has the same views as you, the same beliefs as you, the same worldview as you. And I would say Romney and Aurora, their views in life and society and the world, they closely match each other. Which I guess in many ways it makes sense because I mean they are cousins after all. They have the same blood. I mean, of course, you and your family might see things the same way, and you're gonna have a lot in common. I mean, you share genetics, so the fact that Aurora Leigh and Romney Leigh, you know, have the same bloodline and they're in a family and they have lots in common. Well, duh, you have lots in common. You're cousins, your first cousins. Um, so again, there's many ways to look at this work here. There's many. So again, I'm not saying it's like we can't just quickly always go to love or they're in love. It's just circumstances one after the other led them to one another, and at the end, you're like, okay, I love you, you love me. Let's get together. It's a different way to look at things. Um, I mean, I would have said it was true love, or they truly, truly, deeply love each other, if from the beginning they had some type of deep bond or connection. This is more like Romney asked everybody to marry him until somebody finally decided to stick with him. I mean, this is what, because like, first he asked Aurora, she said no. Then he went to Marion. They were at the altar, but then she said no because she was manipulated. Then he ended up with Lady Waldemar, and then some reason that engagement never happened, and then he rounds the circle right back to Aurora Leigh. So, I mean, after the third, maybe fourth, after I mean, the whole roundabout between engagements, it just made the ending kind of, eh, you know? It's like, well, we're the last one on the boat, so I mean, let's get hitched, Um, yeah, Yeah, so very interesting work. Again, there's many ways we can interpret this, but there's definitely a lot here. Very significant, very interesting. But that's all I have to say about it. Please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and or comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video.